All right, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday. It is December 8th. My best friend turned 31 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Mike. We love you. Today, I want to talk to you about faith, and I want to talk to you about obedience. Now, right off the bat, some of you may be saying, maybe this isn't for me, but it is for you, and I promise I'm going to tie it all together at the end. I'm trying to keep this around 8 to 10 minutes because I don't want you to lose sight of what's important. So, one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos is because, and I want to share a little bit of what my mission is going to be moving forward. I already told you I want to share life with you, and I do. But what I know to be so real with all the conversations that I'm having with those in my church, in my life, at work, everyday conversations, is we're all going through the same stuff. We're all going through the same stuff. So what differentiates you from me, and what differentiates you from your coworker, and it's how you handle it. It's how you go through it. You can read, you can get self-help books, you can turn to the Bible, you can turn to counselors. You can do so many different things, but it doesn't make any of it more or less important unless you do something with it. Unless you physically take it, what you hear, internalize it, and change your actions. Because y'all could say whatever you want, I could say whatever I want, but the truth is until you act on it or change your actions, nothing's going to change. You can say I'm sorry, but if you don't change anything, are you just sorry or are you saying words to help others feel better? So, the point is for us to internalize and look within ourselves moving forward and how we can reach out and bring that out in others. So today I want to talk to you about a little bit about faith and a little bit about compassion. I want to talk a little bit about obedience. And the reason this all kind of came up is there's just been so much going on in my life. And, I try not to complain. I try not to talk about it. But the truth is, you feel the same way. You feel the same way. Right now, as I'm saying this, you're thinking about what's going on in your life and how it's affecting you. Oh my goodness, Christmas is coming up. How am I going to buy these gifts? Is it going to be insightful? Am I just doing it because someone else is buying me a gift, so now I got to go buy them a gift? At what point does enough become enough? And at what point does it all just become real? And I'm not trying to down the Christmas holiday. What I'm saying is that we're all struggling. We're all struggling. So let's get through this together. I turn to the Bible because going through church and some of my role models and leaders turn to the Bible. And it's all there. It's all there. So now that I've been digging in, and I'm only one book in. Guys, if you're ashamed that you don't read the Bible, either do I. But I've been reading Matthew. I haven't even gotten through it yet. I'm like 23 chapters in on Matthew. And within those 23 chapters, it's changed my whole outlook on Jesus, on me, on you, on my wife, on my dog, on my circumstances as opposed to my conditions. And I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. And that's what I want to do moving forward is I want to start bringing friends. I want to start bringing real life people and just tell their story. We're so focused on Facebook and Instagram and what people want us to see that we miss what's really happening. You can smile for pictures. I take 13 photos with Brienne every time I take a picture. You see the one where I'm happy and I'm smiling, but you miss the 13 others where we're blinking or I'm frustrated. Like, come on, babe. Like, how many times are we going to do this until I finally just do this? And that's the one she likes because her smile is beautiful. But what I'm getting at is we're seeing what people want us to see. So how do we internalize what we want others to see? And it all comes down to who we are as a person. So I've been digging into Matthew. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I've been listening to Stephen Furtick. I've been listening to Craig Groeschel. Stephen Furtick is of Elevation Church in North Carolina. Craig Groeschel is Life Church. He's got them all over the place, and Actually, when we went to Michael's parents' house in Palm Beach, there's a Life Church there. They're everywhere. But I look up to them. I enjoy their teachings. I enjoy the way they can relate it to me, to my life, to God, to what He wants. And if you don't go to church because you grew up Roman Catholic or you grew up, Methodist or whatever you grew up, that's all you know, and that's your idea of what church is. And if you don't like it, I challenge you, just try something else. I don't want you to give up on your faith. I don't want you to give up on God because we as humans failed you. We're humans. We're always going to fail you. He will never fail us. Our journey has been written since the day we were born. While I don't understand it, and while you may not understand it, is a whole different story, because that's us trying to comprehend what we don't know. When you look to God and He's not worried, it's because He knows your ending. The book has already been written. You can flip to the back of the book and you can see He sees the ending. He's not worried. But we're on chapter 2, or we're on chapter 3, and this is just where it's starting to turn. So I want you to look at life as a book. And one of the things that has really kind of torn me up inside is I'm coming to you from Tampa, Florida right now. I grew up 28 years in New York, where my family is, my friends are. It's everything I know. My whole family is there, and I miss them dearly. So why am I here? The answer is, I don't know. But one thing led to another. My broken road has led me to my new house here in Tampa, Florida, or Palm Harbor, Florida. Let's get it right. And when I look back at the journey and I look back at all the things I may have given up or the things I quit on, I'm proud of some things. I'm not proud of a lot of things. And I think that's how we grow as a person. I think that's how we grow as a human, is to just get through it with the person that you love. Or even if you're single, get through it by yourself. But you're never alone, because the answer is He's always watching over you. He's guiding your steps. He's recalculating when you've gotten lost. That GPS is constantly recalculating, because at the end of the day, the book has already been written. He already knows what's in store for you. Your journey may be harder than mine, or mine might be harder than yours. It's still an intricate part of the big picture. The big picture. And like I mentioned earlier, so I started listening to Steven Furtick, and I started listening to Craig Groeschel. And Craig Groeschel brought on a guest speaker, and his name is Michael Jr. He's a comedian. He's a Christian comedian, and he's funny. And if you watch the movie War Room, he was the best friend. Tying things together for you right now. You're like, I thought I knew who that guy was. Because that was the reaction I had. Which made his service or his message that much more cool, because here he is, this, actor and comedian who knows Jesus and he knows God. And it's so cool because everyone likes to judge a book by its cover. But what Michael Jr. was talking about is how a lot of times we as humans, we tend to try and sacrifice for the sake of sacrificing. God, I think this is what you want me to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'll give you $20, or I'll give you my time, or what he's trying to get at is we try and do or sacrifice for God what we think He wants us to sacrifice. But we never truly stop and just rest. We never stop to think and look up and say, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Because I'll do whatever. Here I am, send me. But if we don't stop and listen and ask, because we want to be obedient to God. We want to be obedient to His word. We want to be obedient to His purpose that He created us for. We all have a purpose. And for everyone who's looking into this camera right now saying, I don't know what my purpose is. Well, guess what? I don't either. But here I am right now talking to you, because there is a purpose for my life. There's a purpose for your life. And we need to stop and ask, God, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? So I can do for you. Now, when you do things for God, you're doing things for yourself, you're doing things for others, because that's what makes the world a better place. When we stop pointing the finger and we start looking inward. What can I do for you? All right, sorry guys. I got cut off, my bad. Someone called my phone, and I told you on the last video I was going to use my camera, not my phone, and now I know why. I was in the zone, it threw me off, I apologize. But basically, what I was saying is we need to just stop. We need to just stop and ask, God, what do you want from me? What can I do for you to better your kingdom? How can you place me in a situation, or, you know, he's placing us in our jobs, the jobs that we hate, the jobs that we think, why am I here? What good am I doing here? When the better question is, why did he put you there? Why did he put you in that job or put you in that situation? Because we need to stop thinking about just ourselves. We need to stop realizing how we can impact others, what our story brings to you, what my story brings to my neighbor or the coworker who is just a horrible person or a horrible coworker. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe there's something you can bring to the table, you know, and maybe you can position yourself in this world to reflect God's light. And that's what we need to start looking into is, you know, what can I do to better his kingdom? And, you know, I talked about Michael Jr. and how he wants us to be obedient. Stephen Furtick was talking, literally, it was like the same week. He starts talking about how we need to stop just doing things for the sake of doing things and do things for God. The power of the prompt, when God nudges you in a direction, is when he's saying, hey, next chapter. You know, we just finished one chapter, now we're starting to do something else. And when God prompts you to do something, do it. Do it. And I was talking to my best friend Michael Jaraputo the other day, and we were actually talking about this episode of Stephen Furtick and the power of the prompt. And what's so cool about it is, you know, I'm like, Mike, how do I know when God's whispering in my ear? And how do I know when it's just me, you know, and I'm getting my own way? And calmly, Mike goes, well, that first thought, that first nudge, that first prompt, that was God. It was the second thought was me. It was the second thought and the third thought that was Satan planting seeds of doubt in our brain, because he doesn't want God to win. He doesn't want his kingdom to get better and increase in number. He doesn't want this world to be a better place. So how do you implement this, or how do you tie this into your everyday life? Well, have you ever stopped to actually think? Those of you who have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife or a partner, have you ever stopped to think or ask, honey, babe, bae, whatever you call each other, you know, what do you want from me? You know, I've been married to Brienne for 3.5 years now, and we have different love languages. So here I am doing what I think Brie wants me to do. I'm showing love the best way I know how to show love. When Brienne receives love a different way. Brienne wants comfort and emotional support, and Brienne wants to know that, you know, everything's gonna be okay. Like, and there's nothing wrong with the way anyone lives their life or how they receive love. You just need to stop and ask. Stop doing what you think your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or brother or sister, mom, dad, anything, you know, anyone in your family or any relationship in your world. Stop doing what you think your contribution is and just ask, you know, what can I do to be a better brother? What can I do to be a better mom, dad, brother, sister, wife, husband, you name it. And I could go on forever, and you know this. I'm not telling you anything new. You know it. But why haven't things changed? Why do you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? So I just want you to look in. Look in. That's all I'm asking today. Look in and just ask. Ask God. Ask ask your spouse, your boyfriend or girlfriend, what can I do to help you? Now, I want you to ask him. Because when he changes you, when he tells you what he wants you to do, everything else is going to fall in line. And when everything else falls in line, man, that's when things start to get good. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I got everything lined up. Dominoes ain't all falling in the right direction for myself. But if I can help you through this situation in your life, if I can help you feel important, if I can help you feel loved or cared or understood, I want you to talk to me. I want you to comment on this video. I want you to tell me how I can pray for you. I want you to tell me, what someone could do in their life that will make your life a little bit easier, or how you can help someone else's life. Seriously, I want interaction. I want you to comment on this, because once you say something, everyone's got something to say, but no one wants to say it because they're afraid of the backlash, or they're afraid of putting themselves out there. They're afraid of feeling vulnerable, and they don't want anyone to know that they don't got all their stuff together. Well, neither do I. I don't got my stuff together. I got so many flaws, and I got so many things that drive me crazy, and that's for another day. But I want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all going through this. So I just want you to know that God loves you. I want you to know that I love you. And I want you to know that if you need help, or if you need someone to talk to someone. There's no shame in telling someone your story, because it's who you are. It's what made you you. So please, if you get anything out of all of this, let go and let God enter into your life, and let Him tell you where you should go, or what you should do, or what you should say, or who you should turn to get through this crazy life of ours. So thank you for listening. This is the first of many. I told you it would be. So here we go. God loves you. I love you. Peace out. Praise God.